Hi there, and I'm sorry I can't be with you down there in Australia, but we're in the middle of shooting our new movie, Labyrinth. This is obviously one of the sets, and as always in the movies, there are people apparently just hanging around. Playing the part of Sarah is an exciting new talent, 14-year-old Jennifer Connelly. Our movie is a fantasy adventure full of magic and illusion, set in a world where nothing is as it seems. Our heroine, Sarah, has to journey through the labyrinth to rescue her baby brother from the goblins who've stolen him away. Of course, it's no ordinary labyrinth.
Stand by. There you go. So go right up to the top, Bob. Right up to the top.
Just drop the camera down and turn.
As soon as we can, fellas. Here we go. Turn over.
341, take one.
In 3, 2, 1, drop.
23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Hit.
And drop her. Pointing down, hands. And cut. That's a good one. Brian Froud, the well-known fantasy artist and illustrator, has created a whole range of fabulous and magical characters. I know I shouldn't have favorites, but I really like the goblins. Another of my favorites is the wise man, who wears a bird on his head. A talking bird, naturally. But the first character Sarah meets is Hoggle, who becomes her reluctant companion on the journey through the labyrinth. Hoggle is one of the most technically complicated characters our workshops have ever created.
Well, it's better than yours.
We both stayed open too long.
It's Hoggle! And don't say I didn't warn you. Now, would you go left or right?
That was good. That was good. Thanks for nothing. Hogwarts, last line.
As the labyrinth is no ordinary labyrinth, so too our Goblin King is unlike any Goblin King you've ever seen. As played by David Bowie, he weaves his magic spell around Sarah by whatever means he can. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, action. Slow up, Jenny. Okay, and cut it. Okay. Well, I hope this has whetted your appetite. I think we have a terrific movie here. Okay, video replay.
Life can't be easy. It's not always swell. Don't tell me truth hurts, little girl. 'Cause it hurts like hell. It hurts like hell.
Innovator David Bowie, known for his contributions to music, film, and theater, has collaborated as star and songwriter on the latest Jim Henson, George Lucas film adventure, Labyrinth.
In the underground, a land so green.
I've always felt, for a long time now, I felt that rock and cinema were destined to meet. I think MTV has subsequently become a proven ground that people will watch music and action for considerable lengths of time. But I think there's a certainly opening up in the cinema, the combination of music and performance.
How you turned my world, you precious thing. You starve and near exhaustion. Everything I've done for you. I move the stars for no one.
Of the 5 songs that I was asked to write for this film, one of them was the title track.
One live underground, one live underground, one live underground, one live underground, I'm living underground.
Obviously underground because just from the little trip that she makes through the tunnel of hands took me into the underground. So I set that as the sort of area for the song.
Stop it! Help! What do you mean, help? We are helping. We're helping hands.
The film ostensibly deals with the girl's emotions and what she's going through and discovering about herself and her parents and her relationship to her family.
Where is your big decision, Porter? Which way do you want to go?
So I wanted something very emotional, and for me, the most emotional music I can think of is gospel.
Little bit louder now, little bit louder now, little bit louder now, I'm living underground. Okay, 6 times on that. Hold it, folks.
So I contacted Arif Marden to produce with me, and accepted, and he helped me line up the kinds of musicians I wanted.
Second one. How many have we used now?
3. I think we should go to 1 more.
Yeah.
The second one had a good opening.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Arif's history of music making, the stuff he's done with Jack, and of course with Aretha, and so many other great artists. I mean, I'm working in the studio.
They're all great.
The studio is the studio where Solomon Burke laid down Everybody Needs Somebody, for instance. That kind of stuff, being sort of a bit of a soul freak, you know, it's just really nice to sort of work in those very capable hands. You know.
That's fabulous. Near the end, especially, is really great.
Yeah, Albert, that's great. You know, you're playing like shorter bits in front. Yeah, you're just playing like every now and again you drop a lick in. Yeah, they can be more kind of with a bit firmer.
I really wanted a guitar player who wasn't used to a studio approach, and Albert works mainly live gigs. But he's got a history of 50 years of blues playing has come through what he's doing now. And he's very savage, rough, aggressive sound, which goes against some of the maybe superficial slickness of the synthesizers. He's one of the newer blues players, but he's still very much in the tradition of the Chicago blues player. An old friend of mine, Luther Vandross, who was with me in my band, was in town, and he said he was supposed to be going to Los Angeles. He stayed over to do the session today, which is I'm absolutely knocked out. And Sissy Houston is in. But Shaka Khan, they're both in as well. So it should be a nice session. Some of them may be able to sing a note or two, you know.